Welcome to today's KHM podcast. KHM is a Facebook page dedicated to bring Kingdom Hearts fans together, mostly through humorous content. We also hold interactive events such as streams, podcasts, and giveaways. There's going to be a link to our Facebook page below. You'll also find our links for our Tumblr, Twitch, Twitter, Vine, and Instagram.
And your Snapchat.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is podcast 5.5 from our KHMemes podcast series. So we'll be talking about the game, we'll be sharing opinions and theories, facts, and we might play a Kingdom Hearts game. So yeah, hi, my name is Aqua. My favorite Kingdom Hearts world is probably Symphony of Sorcery or Halloween Town. And I'm eating a fairy cake and I'm having mango juice. So yeah, Namine.
Hi guys, I'm Admin Namine. My favorite Kingdom Hearts world is, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, Atlantica, and, yeah, it's Atlantica, and, my favorites are actually Atlantica and Halloween Town, and I am eating sesame chicken. Be jealous.
Alette, gag. Alette?
Hi, I am Admin Alette. My favorite word is Radiant Garden or Symphony of Sorcery, and I'm not drinking anything.
Shame on you. This is just a tea time thing. Roxas!
Hi, I'm Roxas.
Roxas!
I'm Roxas from the same page as them, and I'm eating Pop-Tarts.
Lucky.
Why am I not surprised?
Because Pop-Tartism is the best religion out there.
No more religions.
What's your favorite Kingdom Hearts world?
My favorite Kingdom Hearts world is your mom, and if that's not an option, probably the world that never was.
Okay, alright. So, Daniela.
Me? Oh, hi, I'm Daniela. What was I supposed to say again?
What you're having and your favorite Kingdom Hearts.
Favorite world and what you're eating.
I have craisins, because I love craisins, and I like Twilight Town.
Yay. Kiri?
Hi, I'm Kiri. I'm mildly distracted right now because I'm playing Dream Drop while we're doing this. My favorite world is, probably the Fantasia world in Dream Drop. And yeah, that. I'm replaying from the beginning, so I haven't gotten there yet. Again. And I currently just have water.
You're having me.
Yes, I'm having agua.
Am I delicious? Do I taste good? Do you want more?
I have a full bottle. I think I'm good for the podcast.
Alright,
I'll take more aqua.
Okay, you'll have it tonight.
Oh my. Whoa.
Alright, James?
Hi, I'm James Smith. I'm drinking, I don't know what this is, I think it's orange, I think. And my favourite world is Pride Rock.
Your favorite world is what?
Pride Rock.
What?
Lion King. Lion King.
Lion King.
Lion
Oh,
King.
Lion King. Okay,
Pride
alright.
Lands.
Oh, okay.
Get the sand out of your hair.
Pride Lands, right.
And, okay, who's left, Mark?
Yeah, I'm Mark. My favorite world is Kingdom Hearts 1 Hollow Bastion because I love the level design.
And the music.
And, yes, the music.
Yeah.
I'm eating nothing, and I'm currently getting my triple S rank in Devil May Cry 3.
Yeah, not that. That was one of the questions. But okay. Sidoran?
Hi, I'm Siren. Favorite Kingdom Hearts world is either Dream Drop Distance is Traverse Town or Kingdom Hearts 1 Hollow Bastion.
I love Dream Drop Distance, Traverse Town.
I just finished Traverse Town again.
And I actually am having tea. I'm having a herbal tea with lemon in it.
You're the only one who actually followed the rules. Adam?
Yes.
Okay.
Adam. That was probably his dad. Susan?
Rest in peace, you glorious.
Hi. I'm Susan. Favorite world probably has to be Halloween Town. I'm drinking water / hot chocolate.
Yay!
Hey. That world.
What was that again? I missed that.
Favorite world Halloween Town.
Yeah, fuck that word.
No,
You
that
can't
was
stop
just
saying
bad.
that word.
That one was amazing!
Yeah,
Wait,
you've
which
obviously
one?
never tried
Kingdom
to do
Hearts-
a speedrun.
Wait, which one though?
Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh, okay.
I like the second one more because you can go to Christmas Town and then the outfit for Storage is so adorable.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
Right?
Sansa Sore for the win.
Yay! And then the whole thing with Santa Claus was just, it was hilarious. Anyway, yeah, so welcome to the podcast, and we're just gonna go straight to the next segment, which is Did You Know? Yay! So we're gonna give you some facts, and, you can discuss them in the midst. So the first fact is actually about the replica program in Kingdom Hearts 358 Days of a 2. So the replica program was a planned series of experiments conducted by Vexen under Xemnas' orders with the forced help of Naminé during the events of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So he attempted to make replicas of Sora and Riku in the event that the original Sora proved to be useless to Xemnas' plans for Kingdom Hearts. So Sora's original use for Xemnas, or Xehanort, was to be a 13th vessel of darkness, and they wanted to make a replica of him in case he failed or whatever. And that replica, as you know, was Xion. Now, the first replica created by the program was Xion, i.e. number 1. However, Xion's defection and her death by Roxas, thank you Roxas, Xemnas discontinued the program. Before Xemnas ended the replica program, the Riku replica, or Repliku, was created and pitted against the 2 keyblade wielders, ascending the floor of Pestle Oblivion, before meeting its demise. As, if you play Chain of Memories, you know that Riku kills Replica Riku, and that was just one of the saddest scenes in that game, in my opinion. Now, the secret reports, if you've read them, also reveal the existence of other unused replicas. For example, in Sayek says in a secret report, Xion failed to complete its mission. It discontinues, destroying it and using the next replica as the duplicate would undoubtedly yield a higher grade copy. Now, this kind of hints that there may be another replica that we don't know about. Number 1 was among the initial lot. That means that maybe there was like a whole group of replicas, yeah? Which naturally raises questions about its capabilities. At present, it is nothing short of broken. I cannot fathom why Xemnas would want to keep it. Now, what do you think? Do you think there's more? And do you think that maybe Xemnas has some more uses for... not Xemnas, Xehanort has more uses for these replicas, maybe as vessels? Because, I've heard some people say Riku replica or something can be could be one of the 13 vessels.
Honestly.
Well, we're following the logic of the manga, then Vexen actually made a bunch of replicas of himself.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And Replica Riku didn't die in the end, actually. Because of that one little, thing, and that was hilarious, though.
They actually tried to follow their...
I'm gonna be your shadow! Shadow!
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy how convoluted the entire Kingdom Hearts story has all gotten. And it's pretty much a fan fiction of Final Fantasy Disney.
There's something I worked out. There's something I worked out the other day. See if you take the entire length of the series and realize that Xehanort was at the very start of it. Think how long that he's had this in plan.
Oh my god. No,
he's had this in plan before Birth by Sleep.
Well, one day he just woke up and he's like, I'm gonna ruin the lives of all these people because I can.
And I'm gonna do it 20 years in advance.
Yeah.
Because
I'm gonna do it 20 years in advance and then travel back in time and tell my younger self about how I'm gonna do it 20 years from now.
Yeah, I was gonna point that out the whole time.
Back to the replica topic. Do you guys have anything to add or anything to
I didn't put much thought in the replicas.
It could become a big ass. Honestly, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, you go on. Don't tell me what to do.
Okay. Well, honestly, in terms of their other replicas, I honestly don't think they are. I think Xion was probably the last one, just because of how they treated her. Well, I'm mainly saying that just because of how they treated her in the game, because they pretty much treated her like she's the last resort they had, besides Roxas. So that's why I'm thinking that.
Yeah, but the secret report says that.
I'm wondering if I'm just wondering if she's the last functional one.
That's probably true.
Well, Vexen was killed by Axel.
Yeah, but
not gonna be any more.
Yeah, but Xion was the very first one that he made. That doesn't mean that he can't make any more. And Xemnas knows that even if Vexen dies, which is somebody, can, come back again. And, if we follow that logic, what if Xehanort gets a hold of Even in Kingdom Hearts 3 and continues the replica program in a way that would...
and they're screwed.
I like this image of we're going to have a mission of protect Even.
Yeah,
oh god, escort missions.
I think Vexen is hilarious, especially in the manga. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking of is some of the failed projects being some super enemies you have to fight in worlds sometimes, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, that worked in Final Fantasy, so I don't see why it can't work anywhere else.
Yeah, that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. The second fact for today. I already did a bit of this in a previous podcast. Master Eraqus physically resembles Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy series. They actually modeled him after him. So, yay. I didn't know that. Mark Hamill, Eraqus' English voice actor, was chosen specifically by Tetsuya Nomura for his role as Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. So
that actually makes a lot of sense.
because Master Xehanort is Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold the phone.
What?
Master, I can't even pronounce his name, was voiced by Mark Hamill?
Yeah, Master Eraqus was voiced by Mark Hamill. Hamill, sorry.
Hammer.
Sorry about that.
Mark Hammer.
Mark Hamilton.
Well, I'm
I should
glad you
probably
didn't
go
know that.
replay the Kingdom Hearts series.
I'm glad you didn't know that because I was hoping someone wouldn't know because this is kind of a common knowledge.
Master Eraqus is voiced by the Joker?
And Luke Skywalker.
And Roxas, stop flirting in the chat.
Wait, what the hell?
No! That's
I'm
not
paying attention to this.
Okay.
Roxas, if you keep posting in the chat, I'm gonna start reading out everything you post.
You know what, Roxas? I'm gonna read it. I'm not paying attention. Oh my goodness. Don't do it. I hate this game. Don't read my chat. Don't play this game. Okay. Now, moving on. So,
Read it in opposites.
I'm quite
What sucks in this game?
Okay, let's be a bit more listener friendly now. Ignore Roxas, okay?
She can't read.
The last fact for the Did You Know segment is actually a question and answer from Kingdom Hearts Ultimania. The question was, even though Riku was the rightful owner of the keyblade, then why did Sora obtain the keyblade in the beginning? And as answered, now remember that this was before Birth by Sleep, okay?
Yeah.
Nomura answered, even though I'd like to keep that obscure, there is a scene in Destiny Islands where Riku is being swallowed by darkness. A light appears, and Sora first obtains the keyblade. With the setting I created, the darkness that surrounds them is Riku's heart's darkness. At that moment, Sora enters the darkness, and the light he sees inside is Riku's heart's light. Sora, who was squirming in the darkness to save Riku, touched the light and temporarily obtained the keyblade from Riku. Now,
That sounds very brain dropish.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a bit odd.
What the fuck
because
did I just read?
If that's saying only those with light hearts can use keyblades, then how is Master Xehanort going to use his, really? If it's just so easy to go into Spirit's Heart and steal it.
I think he made.
And that just sounds like a bad fanfiction for pairing. I'm sorry.
I just realized.
I think it's just a plot hole that they're going to fill in with something later.
yeah,
Well, they did it with Ventus.
Yeah, they did.
No, yeah, with Ventus, they pretty much filled it in with Ventus.
But that like had nothing to do with each other. Like he wrote something else, like a different attack on it, you know?
Wait,
no,
is the question? Wait. Is the question why Sora got the Keyblade?
He said, yeah, but he answered that he didn't give a complete answer, but he gave like one side of it, which is basically, I'm just gonna paste it here, it's easier. Even though I would like to keep that obscure, there is a scene in Destiny Islands where Riku is being swallowed by darkness, a light appears, and Sora first obtains the keyblade. With the setting I created, the darkness that surrounds them is Riku's heart's darkness. At that moment, Sora enters the darkness, and the light he sees inside is Riku's heart's light. Sora, who was squirming in the darkness to save Riku, touched the light and temporarily obtained the keyblade from Riku. It's just like one side of it that I found interesting that not many would know about. This isn't a discussion topic to discuss how he got the keyblade, because then we'll be spending the next 15 minutes discussing it. I just wanted to let you know about this interview.
That's what Tetsuya Nomura said. That's what the point was.
I feel like Nomura just pulled that explanation out of his ass. Is it just me?
Well,
I think he did, because, again, Birth by Sleep didn't come out yet, so...
Yeah, but he didn't give the complete answer. He says that he'd like to keep the answer a bit obscure.
Yeah, that was his way of saying, don't take my word on it yet. This could change, potentially.
No, I don't think that...
And it did.
I think that what he said is true, except it's not the complete answer. Yes, he did... Because it does make sense that he can wield the Keyblade, but how does it make sense that he got Riku's Keyblade? You don't know what I mean?
Oh, that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I just thought, this seems to be very similar to Wams at the end of Doom Drop Distance.
Yeah, because you have
Riku going into Sora.
I'm gonna touch your heart.
Is it possible that in the same way Riku pulled Sora out, Sora kind of did the same, except only managed to get the Keyblade, as opposed to all of Riku's heart?
Or
because he wasn't as strong back then.
yeah.
Probably.
I don't know, but I know that I need to drink more tea.
We could have just accidentally made Riku have density then. It fucking like that.
No. The heart didn't separate from his body. It just reached in and tenderly touched his heart. Like, oh, you're so beautiful.
Wait, does that mean he doesn't have his own keyblade? He's only using Ventus's for Riku's?
Yeah,
He was?
he's only using Ventus's and Roxas when he dual wields. He doesn't have his own keyblade.
What the frick?
I disagree with that, but moving on. The next segment, because that one's over, is Kingdom Hearts 3, Thoughts and Expectations. Now, I'm going to give you guys some, not a full list, I'm just going to give you one by one, some Disney movies, and I'd like to discuss the possibility of them or characters from these movies, appear in Kingdom Hearts 3. So the first one is Dumbo.
Yes.
We already have a character from that, don't we?
But we don't
Not
have
in
a
the world.
The world would be
Well, I
fun.
don't think the Dumbo world is fleshed out enough to have an entire world in-game based around him.
Who are you gonna
Circus?
fight? The animal abusers?
Yeah.
Well, in Beast's Castle, you fought against a door, so...
Sora's gonna turn into the PETA managers.
Be like Winnie the Pooh. Like in the book. They should do that for Dumbo.
Minigame, circus.
I think
No,
Yeah, Mom.
we don't need any more minigames.
I like minigames.
But minigames.
All the
they're fun.
minigames.
They're fun.
Okay.
Yeah, minigames are fun.
Actually, I don't even remember Dumbo, but if you guys have any more opinions on it, or any,
He gets drunk.
any ideas.
I honestly say nay, though. I just can't see, like, too much being done with Dumbo. Besides the minigame world, but, again, Winnie the Pooh kind of did that, so.
I have to say, as long as the pink elephants aren't in that, I'm fine.
If anything, that'll probably be the thing that will mostly be in there.
Hooray!
Those things
Yeah,
scarred
but
me.
what if Sora turns into an elephant?
No.
So cute.
That sounds like a
No.
bad
That would be
fanfic.
adorable, but why?
That fanfiction is so bad, I'm going to leave for a second.
What if they took like all of the smaller Disney characters like Dumbo or like Bambi and just put
just
them
wrote
on
it down.
like a little like island
Dissidia.
of misfit
Like-
toys type thing? I don't know.
So,
Because-
we're sticking them in animal version of Twilight, Driver's Town.
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
That's a fun idea.
Like a Disney Animal Farm in space.
Yes. Completely. Yes.
It's like
This is the
Disney
brain of
Farmville.
Name here. Seriously.
Take all the Disney movies that are, animal based and other than Lion King, because Lion King has its own world, and stick them all on their own, like, Traverse Town version.
Exactly.
It'd be
Yeah.
entertaining. And then you turn into an animal, and hey, you want run around like that. That'd be cool.
Well
Like
then,
a zoo.
since we're talking about Dumbo, what about Bambi?
That was included.
I thought that into the Travis animal world.
Does that include the
The
Lady
Zoo
and the
World.
Tramp as well then?
Probably.
Fox and the Hound.
Well, Lady and the Tramp could be involved in Traverse Town normally,
Yeah,
if you
Oh,
think
Get
about
that
it.
fountain.
so they are.
No,
We got a fountain.
what if we have a scene of like Sora and Kyrie having spaghetti?
No.
Fanfic!
That's
my
like
God.
everywhere.
Yeah, okay, so the first worlds are like that, all the animals talking. Dumbo, Bambi, the Lady and the Tramp, the Fox and the Hound, which by the way was such a sad movie. How did they even? God. Okay. So, have you guys ever watched The Black Cauldron?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is that?
I
No,
do.
I need to get around to seeing it.
I've never watched it, and I just know like Princess. I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Eowyn.
Halo.
Yeah, that. So that sounds like it has a pretty compact story, although I never watched it.
I
mean,
it could be interesting.
I don't know. I never watched it.
But
so
once again, it's a really obscure one.
yeah.
Yeah.
True.
You know what's an obscure world that isn't on the list right now, but I was thinking about it. Like, what about a Spirited Away? Like a Miyazaki would be really cool.
Because that was actually on the page as an April Fool's joke.
Okay, like I thought about it before that was even up. Like I was like, why is there no Spirited
Yeah.
Away? Because I would absolutely love that so much.
Just mentioning it because that's how I got into the Skype call for one of the days.
That'd be awesome. It's just that, it's Studio Ghibli, and even though Disney does distribute it, they don't have the rights to it, and even though Miyazaki,
Oh my
he
god,
quit, didn't he?
Roxas, really? My Little Pony.
We're not. No, My Little Pony. No.
Put some MLP in there. Am I the only Pegasus, sir? I'm gonna get shot.
No. Pegasus.
Can we not? No. Nope. Not going there. But yeah, what I was saying about Studio Ghibli. First of all, it's not Disney, even though it's distributed outside.
Hasbro. What if Disney buys Hasbro? No, I'm joking.
No. And secondly, Miyake is not a video game type. He hates video games, and I know he quit, but I think he'd still have a say on it. I don't know. I just don't really see it.
He would. I don't really see it either.
I don't either. I'm just.
It would be amazing.
Yeah,
but
definitely. It's just I don't think it's gonna happen, unfortunately. So another obscure movie, classic Disney, not classic Disney, but old Disney, is The Great Mouse Detective. Anyone ever?
Oh, that would be adorable.
That would be adorable.
You could turn into like a mouse and you run around with them while you try and solve the case.
It's a bit dark though.
What if they took like?
So Sword becomes a detective. Why not?
Well, we're at it. Let's throw Sherlock in there.
Yeah.
It's like L.A. Noire with
Why
a
is there
Disney
no
pen,
Doctor
Disney
Who?
coat of
I
paint.
bet
Oh my
Xehanort's like in
Doctor
cahoots with the
Who
Doctor.
would-
Xehanort has
Doctor
to
Who
be
would
in
screw
cahoots.
over the already confusing plot.
Yeah.
That would be the one that was stuck to it. Yeah.
Like
Because
just
Doctor Who is amazing. That's
right
why.
in the middle of Kingdom Hearts 3, and they just stick a TARDIS in there, and you're like, what is going on with this fandom? I don't even know anymore.
Well, I mean, they could throw it in as a little joke, but
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I would be so happy if they have a Doctor Who reference. Like,
I know,
I would be
right?
so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people have been wondering for a while. What about Max?
Max?
Yes,
Like
Goofy's son.
Oh.
Goof Troop.
Oh,
Why doesn't Goofy, like, see Max? Like, I feel like they should put Max somewhere like Disney Castle, because that's where Daisy is, So,
Oh, maybe they can make Max into a knight
yeah, exactly.
or one of the king's
Oh, you're
guards
right.
or something.
Maybe he could
Yeah,
be
sorry.
a temporary
Sorry about
party. He could be in your party temporarily.
But what if Max was
What if he's at college? Leave him
killed in
alone.
one of the earlier ones?
What if Max went wild? What if he moved out?
Yeah, but
He went to college.
He's in boarding school.
Yeah.
He went to Traverse Town.
Where can you do
Max
that?
gone
in-
bad. What if, like, Goofy just has to bail him out of, like, jail?
Monsters College.
Monsters
University.
Monsters University, yeah, whatever.
Monsters Inc.
did anyone else see Roxas just now?
Yes, we're ignoring him.
Yeah, Max is the 13th vessel, and then Goofy's just like, how could you?
Yeah,
I saw
and it
Rise of the
Oh my gosh.
It makes no
But
sense.
If we're gonna do that, we're gonna have to take
Absolute sense.
one of if we're gonna make Goofy son of us, we might as well take one of Donald's nephews.
Yeah, they do it
They've
every week.
been there, and I'm okay with them. Even though they didn't grow an inch since Birth by Sleep, they appear in the first one, and they haven't grown an inch. But yeah, I'd love to see that. Okay, so another world, this time is a bit less animalistic. Pocahontas.
That would be
I'm actually can see that.
That one would work pretty well, actually. It would really work really well, though.
So, here's the last one. I think this is a pretty good one. A Bug's Life. I love that movie.
That should be put with our little animal Traverse Town. You can like shrink down and go into like a little
Or
ant
we
club
could
or
control
something.
like big bird and then I don't know. I don't know. I think a world, an individual world could work.
Well, that yeah.
As long as Chicken Little doesn't make a comeback.
I really want them to like actually end up using their plans for the Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book, like there were some rooms from the Jungle Book in Birth by Sleep, but they cut them out for some reason.
But like when you go into the data files, you can find them. So it's like the data is still there, really, if they wanted to use it for some for Kingdom Hearts 3 or something.
Same for the Sword in the Stone. There
They
was
might use Jungle Book for Kingdom Hearts 3.
or the Sword.
Wasn't Woody and Buzz Lightyear in Kingdom Hearts 1? Like, data files?
No.
Yeah.
Toy Story World
wait,
would be pretty awesome.
Okay, so we're actually finished with my list, and we actually have about
Wait.
30 minutes. What?
One more little world that I don't think anybody thought about except me. But what about the Princess and the Frog? That one dude who would summon the shadows. Think about how cool of a boss fight that would be. I'm just throwing that out there.
For what?
Princess of
From,
Frog.
Oh,
Using
yeah.
Some of the shadows. That'd be a cool boss
Yeah, I
fight.
know who you're talking about. That
I was actually, was it Felicien? The guy? I was actually talking with Benitez, and I was like, would Felicien make a good, one of the 13 vessels? And he was like, no, he's such a wuss. Because he got played, but then he's like, yeah. Then he was like, yeah, maybe it could work if he gets played by Xehanort. Nope. No one has been. Nope. Okay, alright, I'm gonna shut up now.
I haven't seen The Princess and the Frog. That's all I know.
Yeah,
I fell asleep watching it.
but like I saw like the villain, and he looked pretty villainous. Yeah.
He was
Well,
like the
pretty cool from what I've
Gripmaster.
seen.
If we're gonna continue going through Disney movies, what about Tangled?
Well, I was actually gonna mention that, like, what if they, because like this is the end of the Xehanort saga, what if they, what if like they start a new Kingdom Hearts saga that revolves around like the actual like CG animations of Disney, like Frozen, Tangled, Toy Story, Wreck-It Ralph would be kind of different,
Wreck-It Ralph would be really, really hard to do.
but I think that if
it
they
is a world composed of other worlds.
Unless you just include the Sugar Rush world and like not the whole thing, you know what I mean?
If they do Wreck-It Ralph, they'll probably just include either Ralph's World or Sugar Rush.
And the
Because,
other one, the one.
Hero's Duty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they'll be forced to do that. I mean, the movie was almost not released because of how much it required.
Or for Wreck-It Ralph, maybe he could just be a summon in the third game.
No, I want an actual world.
No, yeah, but it's kind of the same thing like they did with Chicken Little. Chicken Little was just made a summon in Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts
but
2.
you know, opposite to Wreck-It Ralph, Chicken Little, the movie stopped. So.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
No.
Yeah.
We could have Wreck-It Ralph and Fix-It Felix in like Traverse Town or something, because as it would be for them to have like their own world, the logistical planning of it would be hard.
But it would be an accomplishment.
The hell was that?
Mark,
Oh my God.
What were we saying? Wreck-It Ralph, and then Tangled, and basically the whole CG animation world thing being in the next saga. I think, even though that's a good idea, I think a mix of it would be better, because you want to relate to, everyone, not just people who like recent works of Disney.
So if we're doing that, can I ask, are we just exclusively suggesting Disney movies, or can we also do Disney spin-offs, even though that's really unlikely because of what Namor said?
I would like to discuss the things that are possible, even though they're not that possible. I just like to discuss things that are possible, because the impossible is gonna go on forever.
Yeah, because to me, Gargoyles actually has a pretty expansive world. Like, I know, even though it is New York, but I feel like there's a lot of potential there, especially with, like, say, the glide mechanic. Like, maybe some form of platforming gliding with the Gargoyles. That's just my suggestion.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what
It's an interesting Disney show.
Oh, you don't know about Gargoyles?
No.
Oh,
No.
well, Gargoyles was an old cartoon that was on the Disney afternoon.
How do you not know about Gargoyles?
Yeah, seriously.
I know.
Just like that.
That was
It
like,
was
that was the shit.
It was like the only really serious show Disney ever did.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Which was pretty dark as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his show.
Basically, it was Transformers except with gargoyles instead.
Okay, you
practically.
guys have space for one more world, and then we're moving to the next segment.
Darkwing
What next segment? Oh, okay. Wait, what if they included like not just Disney movies, but Disney like animated shows, like
American Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That could be fun!
Some Ferb. Come on, guys.
Lilo and Stitch, even though it is a movie.
Is there no love for the sweet life of Zack and Cody?
No. I mean, yeah, I know, but
They're like, I don't know.
It's live action.
Montana.
No, who said that?
Actually,
Who said that?
real people, but then I remembered Port Royal was like.
Yeah, but that was a full-fledged movie with an actual plot.
And that didn't really work if you look at Donald Duck and Captain Jack Sparrow standing right next to each other.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Oh my God, that was so awkward. That was like us
Yeah.
actually seeing a real Donald Duck and like actually not taking it weird.
I think that was part of the charm of it, though.
To eat it.
I think that's part of the charm of it because it's so unique in the series.
Yeah, and when you first go into the world, they're like, this
world is kind of different.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think if we did it again, it would ruin the whole charm of it.
Yeah, but I would love to see Kim Possible in the Kingdom Hearts.
I love Kim Possible.
Oh my god.
I can actually see that in Kingdom Hearts, actually.
Totally. Oh, hey, Riku's here. Riku wants to say hi for a few.
Yes.
Oh no, I have 2 Rikus in my contact.
Is this admin Riku?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, happy birthday!
Hi.
Happy birthday, Riku! I love you.
Feliz cumpleaños.
I love your butt.
Thank you.
I want to touch it.
Oh my god.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Okay.
I have to go. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes.
Alright.
I love you. Never forget me.
Riku!
Yes, I must go.
I
I'm
love
going
you.
back to work. I love all of you.
Bye, big bro.
I know you.
See you later, mate.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
See you later, mate.
Yeah, so we're actually pretty ahead of time. I thought maybe we should discuss one more thing, which is something that Roxas brought up in the streams, is where does Ventus come from? Because Roxas had a really good theory that maybe he can come from Twilight Town.
That's a fair point. I can see
Maybe he's
that being true.
I'll tell you why. Because basically, you know, when Xehanort takes him to Destiny Islands, whatever he says, it doesn't sound like that's where Ventus is from. It's more like that's where Xehanort is from. So that leads me to believe that maybe Ventus is not from Destiny Islands, but from another world. Okay. Now, when Roxas is born, nobody's are born in the realm in between, right? So the worlds are in the realm in between, like Mysterious Tower, Twilight Town, Castle Oblivion. I don't really remember any other. Oh, Traverse Town. Traverse Town is also in the realm in between. Now, why is Roxas born in Twilight Town? Maybe because Ventus is from there, and that's why Roxas' body made a connection and was born there. You know that abandoned mansion? What if Randy used to live there?
That's a good point. Might also be that in that case, might be that Pencilette, all that lot, they might have been childhood friends, because they became such good friends with him. Ash Roxas.
Sorry, I didn't really understand that.
Like,
What?
Roxas is good friends with Olette and all that.
Yeah.
So if Ventus is from Twilight Town, could be that in the past he was friends with them.
No, I don't think, because Ven is much older than
True.
Ventus and Olette.
True.
Maybe he babysit them.
No, I don't think they were born yet.
Probably some fun out of that.
How do you know Kyrie existed during Birth by Sleep?
I'm thinking about the age difference. It's just I don't think he had a connection with them. But usually things in Kingdom Hearts don't get overlooked. So maybe the Abandoned Mansion does have something. Because we did see Twilight Town in the teaser trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3. That is not final in saying that it will be in Kingdom Hearts 3, but maybe it is, and maybe. If it has not a big role, but if it does have some role in Kingdom Hearts 3, maybe the Abandoned Mansion could come into the scene. Because I always found that place very mysterious, and I've always wondered what happened in there. Why is it abandoned, and why is everything in there trashed, and why is it that suddenly one room out of all the others is white?
Because
I can get behind that.
Because Mama is interested at interior decoration.
She was like, "Oh, this could be suitable as long as I paint all my walls white."
It's not even.
It's so that nobody can find her. It's so that she blends in with the rest of her room.
Yeah, but then the room blends out.
Camouflage.
Like the rest of her is like white as hell. So
what do you think about Ventus's origins? Or how did Master Xehanort? How did he end up with Master Xehanort?
Because he ran into a white Ventus candy.
His parents abandoned him.
No.
Yes.
No, but he's adorable.
It's an RPG and it's slightly an anime. He has no parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Rule of life. One set of clothes.
His parents either abandoned him or died.
Yep.
And Xehanort was the evil uncle. Xehanort's evil uncle.
Parents are actually not discussed in Kingdom Hearts, and they're basically non-existent, except Zexion is described as an orphan. say, that means that his parents are dead, and that's the only mention of parents apart from Sora's dad and Sora's mom saying, Sora, dinner's ready. If that was his mom. But if that was Selfie, I don't know.
I honestly always thought that was his big sister or something.
Anyone else remember the stream talking about Sora's mom being Cooking Mama?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, and the only other mention is when Riku says we might never see our parents again. Oh, and, well, this is not exactly canon, but Kairi has been adopted by the mayor.
Yeah. Wasn't that in, like, the manga?
Yeah.
Was she adopted? I thought they just said that they saw her at the mayor's house, like, because she just got there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not specifically canon, but that's what, it's just things that you have.
It's highly fanon.
Yeah, but it's also
okay.
the manga, and the manga has a lot of canonic elements that are not in the game. Like in certain games, but they are in the other games. Like in Kingdom Hearts 2, in the Kingdom Hearts 2 manga, you find the lunar ice cream stick, which you don't find in that game, but you'll find later in the base game. What if Ventus is actually a doll, some perfect experiment with a heart and has no past, like a replica?
Yeah, kind of.
I suppose that's actually a fair point, because it's common knowledge that Ventus is the key to Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my god, I just thought of something.
So what if he is just personified Kingdom Hearts?
Guys.
Oh no, we're doing time travel all over again.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. We all know that Ventus goes to the Radiant Garden, and then Ivan comes out and knows who Ventus is, and he's like, no, that's a special case.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I thought that's because he was, I don't know, maybe he just saw the light in him, because he's made of pure light, and Ivan just has that sixth sense.
Or maybe there's a little bit more?
Because they were, researching hearts, and how to pure light, and how to darkness, and maybe he just saw that he had a heart full of light.
Maybe that's his dad.
I hope not.
Can we not right now?
Or maybe
We
Ivan
totally
just has
can.
other things. Maybe he's into other things.
Oh my god, no! Okay, guys, another thing that really struck me, why did Xehanort choose Roxas as his disciple? Not Roxas, Ventus as his disciple. Why him? I mean, he was a weakling. He was kind of weak. Sorry.
Probably because he's that
His heart was
weak, he's
pure
easy to
light.
manipulate.
Because he is weak.
It wasn't pure light. It wasn't.
Because maybe he was just a kid and he was, I don't know, maybe he was a good keyblade wielder.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, first of all, that goes to the question: when does Ventus actually get his keyblade? Because from Birth by Sleep, it's established that they can either inherit keyblades or the keyblade chooses them. So when it
pass down the ability, maybe.
But if Xehanort passes down the ability to Ventus.
Yeah, because he's a master, so.
Yeah.
Like maybe when he found Ventus, he couldn't use a keyblade, but then he passed the ability to him.
I don't think that's the issue here. The issue here is why him? Why Ventus? I mean, Xehanort didn't even like him,
Maybe it could be because he was so weak. Because since he was so weak, he could like people were saying manipulate him easily.
Yeah. Manipulate him, shape him, then use him for what he want, and then because he was so weak, he could kill him when he felt like it.
And again, since he had no parents, easier to get.
No one would care about him
I think
when he went
Xehanort
missing.
cares whether you have parents or not. But even then, he was angry at him for being weak.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he wasn't as useful as he wanted him to be when he was that weak.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe he just didn't develop as he wanted to, and he was actually more of a I'm blanking on the word, more useless than he wanted.
Or maybe
failure.
There's something about Ventus that Xehanort, it was special, and maybe Xehanort and him have a past or something like that.
It was his deep blue eyes.
What if Xehanort
Do you think Xehanort kidnapped Ventus?
It could be.
Probably.
It's likely.
That's a possibility.
Likely.
Yeah, okay. There's something else. Do you have anything else to add to the topic?
Well, something else I was thinking. There's something I was thinking earlier. Vanitas is remnant.
Yeah.
It's not very explained. I'm thinking.
Is it even canon?
We've pretty much figured out Kingdom Hearts. They never do something small without something big happening afterwards. I mean, look at all the mysterious fights at the end of the games. They were all some form of Xehanort.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm thinking
Yeah.
So
oh wait, no.
I think that maybe that's like a foreshadowing that Vanitas is not gone yet, and that Vanitas could be one of the 13 vessels.
That's what I'm thinking.
It does make an appearance in Dream Job. So.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is, could that be a new form of darkness? Of just pure chaotic darkness?
Wait, are you asking for Vanitas' remnant?
Yeah.
Like what it is?
The white Vanitas.
Yeah, well, I don't remember much, but I think the journal says something like it's just all of the negative emotion that Vanitas left behind when he died.
Why does it have a
something like that?
That's what I'm thinking. Could that be some kind of new form of darkness?
I guess, because the Unverse was
Shades
pretty
of
much
darkness.
a different form of darkness. There were Vanitas' darkness spreading through the worlds.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, so if we don't have anything else to say, I think we can happily conclude this. Yay!
Yeah.
Roxas.
Hooray!
Yay. So, thank you guys for coming. Thanks everyone for listening, and I hope you had fun. Don't forget to click on the like button if you liked it. If you didn't like it, then click on the like button anyway. And subscribe for more podcasts, playthroughs, funny videos, and keyblade tutorials. We already have a Kingdom Key tutorial made by Roxas, so you should totally check that out. Oh, and our Days movie, yay. So remember to visit our page if you haven't already. All the links are down below. If you have any opinions that you'd like to share on the topics that we discussed, comment below. Or if you have anything else you'd like us to discuss in the next podcast, comment below. So it was great having you all here, and we hope to see you again in our next podcast. So thank you.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, so thank you, Daniela, James, Kiri, Namine, Olette, Roxas, especially Roxas, Susan, and Sidoran, and I'd like to say Mark, but he's gone, and Riku. Happy birthday, Riku. So I will see you guys later.
Okay.
The next podcast.
When you walk away, you
Please go away.
Oh, baby, don't go.
Whoa.
See you later. Thanks for the chat.
Yes, continue.
No.
Yes.
No.
Say it.